G'day, I'm Chris. This is Flat Tank Journey. Welcome back to the shed. I'm working on my little wedge tank and having a good time, which is the main thing. Hey, thanks to everybody that's been in touch and thanks to everybody who's subscribed recently. It's been really cool. I'm really grateful for subscribers. I don't know that it means anything financial for me, like I don't make any money out of this, but it's cool to watch and it's cool to have people get in touch. So thanks for that. Hey, I got a web store coming soon. I'm going to sell a t-shirt or two for anybody that wants them. A friend of mine makes tees and he's got a web platform that he can sell tees for me through. So look out for that soon. This week, working on my oil pump and working on my wedge tank. Now, this is all really impossible to see, so let's not get stressed about it. I had some 3/16 bearings to go down into whatever that valve is. I had some tiny springs that I cut in half and got it onto the pin on the bottom of the screw and screwed it in. I got a lot of anxiety over it. Is there too much pressure on the spring? Not enough pressure on the spring? What does the ball valve actually do? And if it fails, do I have no oil, too much oil, and what happens? So I suppose in reality this is a secondary device on the 27. It was a security feature. It actually drains straight out of the tank and into the oil sight feed bowl on the right hand side of the timing chain case. The other thing I did was I've put O-rings down there. Got a box of O-rings. Now I actually put two in there, hoping to get some better compression in the bottom of that fitting, because that fitting is just a pain in the butt because it doesn't tighten up properly because the damn screw head's in the road. I don't really get it. I still don't get it from last week. And you can only tighten down so far before the whole damn thing just locks up and you're not going anywhere. So I don't really get it. And perhaps that's why I always find these things leaky mongrels of things. So, but anyway, it has two O-rings that fit the shaft and hopefully compress into the bottom of that fitting. Now, I've got the old knob on and the washer, and I was hoping this one would clamp down, and it does. So that's pretty good. And when you use it, you can actually feel the suck, or the vacuum, let's call it that, in the bottom of the pump. So that's pretty good. Bit excited about that. Come around the bike, we'll have a look and see if we can get it into place. Got my oil pump in, but it's been an odd experience. So, I don't know, does anybody follow the comments of what people leave? A bloke left last week that the thread for the fittings is 3BA, not 2BA. And that could be right, no idea. I've just cleaned those holes with a 2BA tap. Now, 2BA goes from, I don't know, 9 or something down to 0, or up to 0. I think 0 is the biggest size. I'll have a look in a minute and tell you. So I put two 2BA screws in, but the one at the back here, and it's always the one at the back, isn't it, is considerably bigger, and the thread hasn't cut at all. So it's a 1BA or a 0. Now this plays into my theory, and let me find the taps and make sure I'm right. For once in my life, I am right. 0BA is the biggest of the taps I have. Now, that thread size is a bolt like that. It's not 0, but it's not 2 either. because 2 drops right down. So I'm suspecting it's one, or it's a thread altogether different. And that plays into my theory that when you're doing these things, people do all sorts of things. Now, I suspect that the 2BA bolts I've used could be the wrong size, and 3s no longer fit because someone's tapped out from 3 to something else, and then I've tapped out from something else to 2. And the back hole, it's been tapped out again from something else to something else. So you sort of, I don't know, is it a crapshoot? You're just making it work. So sadly, I've got one bolt that's bigger than the other 2, but the other 2 have got good purchase and screwed in fine. So I'm a bit confused. I suggest that the gentleman who commented last week's probably right. I'll give him a 98% chance of being right. These are meant to be 3s, which would be smaller than the 2s I put in, and smaller again than the one at the back, which is more like a 1BA or something else altogether. And because this is brass, I can screw a 1BA into it. You're just dealing with whatever you're dealing with. On a bright note, I'd say the pump is fine and will work just fine. But it is confusing, eh? Must be the day for things that are a bit of a dark art. I ran out of chain I bought a box of chain and I ran out, so I had to buy another box. Now, I bought 08B-1 agricultural chain. Fits perfectly and it's generally a reasonable price. Now, weirdly, I paid, wait for this, $180 locally. That was after they reduced it from $219 in a local store, farm machinery dealership. I thought, oh, gee, that's weird. That's a lot. I don't normally pay that sort of money. But they ordered it in and I paid and we all moved on. I was online looking for chain. It was $50, $49.95 including postage. So do your shopping really carefully. Sadly, a local trader was 4 times the price of what it should have been. I think it was 35 bucks a box and postage on top. Anyway, 08B-1 fits back and front and comes in, I think 4, 6, 8 and 10 is the sizes. I'm going to get this cut to length and mess around, and then we'll put it on the bike. And that'll be the chains fixed. Not rocket science, part and chain, angle grinder. Goes over the footrest, not under. Angle grinder, I grind the top off and then I punch the link back through. I find it easier to put chain together on the chain wheel than off it. And I generally put the links through from the back, and you put a, I don't know, plate on and the clip. And for some reason, my dad always told me you put the clip on with the open end to the back, and that's what I'm going to do because my dad's probably right. I just get a screwdriver and hopefully give the clip a flick with the screwdriver blade and it's on. All of that will need finessed and messed around with a bit to get the gearbox tension, get this tension and that tension, so primary chain tension and rear chain tension just right. Now the primary chain's not bad, a little bit loose, and that's probably a little bit tight. So maybe the gearbox will come backwards a bit. I did buy half links. I recommend having half links in your toolbox for all the chains you use, because inevitably you need one and you haven't got it, or you've got to and you don't need them. Either way, it's a good bet to have them. Primary chain looks good. I think it's a good result. I'm going to pick up the primary chain cover and pop it back on because it's kicking around the bench and it's a disaster. I'm going to go and get it. So remember I said I've got big washers on the back of here, and I have. And then when you get it in the right place, it all goes on. Now I've already pulled a bit of paint off that, which is a sign. But I am happy with the oversized nuts and the washers, and I do think that it's probably for the best. That's a good result. I'm not going to over tighten those yet. I bet it has to come off a million times before then. Now I've got something exciting to show you. Bit of a problem working on two bikes at once and showing you two bikes that are not dissimilar from one another. So, because I'm not really sure what order I show you things in. Nonetheless, here's a header pipe. Now this came with the job lot of parts that I got from Gary when I bought a second wedge tank and the round tank to go with the first wedge tank I had. And if that's confusing, go back and catch up on the series and where we're at. It goes back a couple of years because I've been tardy. I gave this a spray with some heat resistant proof / paint. Now, it's very smooth. It's got a jog in the pipe and it's long, as opposed to the one that I got with the first bike, which I can see laying on the floor. The first one is short. It's smoothish, it's well beaten up, and it has a dirty great big clamp on it. But I don't know where the clamp goes to. What was that clamp to? Or is it the header pipe off something else altogether? And that is my point. Now I'm filthy. This seems to fit perfectly. And the jog in the pipe lets it go around the footrest and fit neat as right there. And it looks really, really good. Or I think it does anyway. So that's kind of that simple. Now, the big issue. The big issue is a silencer. You can buy round tank and wedge tank silencers. Surely you can. Let me wash my hands because I'm filthy. Right, I'm back. Bit of Solvolt and clean these hands. Now, before I show you the exhaust, I don't want people to get upset because you can buy reproduction round tank and wedge tank exhausts. You can buy them in the UK from a company, and I'll say it very carefully, Fekt, F-E-K-E-D, sell reproduction silencers. They sell them in black and they sell them in chrome plated, and they're cool. They are, I think they're 165 or 169 pounds sterling, which translates to me for $310 plus postage. Now, postage from the UK to me, I'm guessing on, let's say a pair of them. So it's $620 for the pair, and then postage, I'm going to guess at about $100 to $150. I'll be high and say 150. That leads me to be $770 odd dollars. 800 if you like. 400 a bike. 350 to 400 a bike. Plus the header pipe. Now, I just can't do that. I just can't. Reality's got to kick in when you're restoring. You appear to these days be spending more on a restoration than it's worth. And I actually think that's a real shame The cost of projects has gone through the roof to the point that we're struggling to afford them. And yeah, the cost of a project is so high that you really struggle to afford to do the bike. It's not worth it. And it's meant to be fun. So let's get through all that rubbish and unveil what I decided to do. Now, I would call it a little shotgun silencer. People will be disappointed or horrified or upset or think, yeah, Chris, good idea. I'll tell you what I paid in a minute. And I'm hoping this one fits. I'm pretty sure it will. I haven't tested it, but I'm hoping that all of this kind of goes into place. And somehow it all will. There we go. Now I assume, again, this is why the jog is in the pipe, that it lets the silencer come out far enough that it'll go past the rear stand. Now, my homemade rear stand, this thing just clears. Now, this comes with a universal bracket, which is really handy, and I need to take the bracket off and fiddle with that. But that's about how it's going to look. I just need to turn the clamp around, and I promised myself I'd be better organised for you this week. I really did. I'm going to remove the bracket for now because the bracket works really well. Once I've got this on and shown you what it looks like, I'll tell you what I paid for it. Tell you what I paid for a pair, in fact. Should give you a little bit of a close-up. Now, the chrome on it is less than good. It's got quite a braided looking finish, and I would describe, if I bought that from a chrome plater, I'd be well disappointed in his efforts. However, you get what you get. There it is. That's as far as it goes on. And it only just clears the stand. And I mean just. Maybe there's, I don't know, 3/16 for you Imperial people, or 5 millish for the rest of us. Now, the bracket has multiple options for holes and fitting, and it does say it's a universal clamp. Now, I'm going to attempt to fit it in that brake hole where the brake mounts. Yeah, where the brake plate mounts. That's where I'm going to attempt to fit it. And then I've bought a lovely stainless steel clamp, as I'm prone to doing. The clamp's worth nearly what the exhaust cost. And we're going to get it on, and I'm going to give you a close-up. I'm going to go away and do some work, and I'll bring you back when I've done some work. It hasn't taken long. There's what's left of their universal bracket clamp, something. And, you know, has it got chrome on it? Yeah, a little bit. Not a lot, though. I bought a clamp from my local water supply company. Now, they sell these stainless steel clamps, and they're absolute blinders. It's a pity they've got 40 to 43 written on them. For my money, I'd rather they didn't, but they do. They tighten up super well, and they're stainless. And I think I paid $11 or $12 for it. I think they're really good. Again, in the absence of original, I'm happy to do this. So, there it is. That's it, I understand. Now, I've always sealed around the header pipe with bathroom silicone. That's what people told me to do, so that's what I did. So we've got clearance on the kickstand, and we've got clearance on the footrests and the brake pedal, and I'm hoping that I've got clearance on the Kickstarter, but it'll be close. Boy, it'll be really close. Actually, you got to wonder if it won't clear. That could be an onion in the ointment. We'll have to see how that goes. I've just had a moment to relieve the pressure from my brain over the Kickstarter not clearing, and realising that it's my fault it doesn't clear. Do you remember when I made this Kickstarter pedal? The pedal, not the Kickstarter. So I threaded it through and had a nut and went to some trouble for a chrome plated nut on the back. Now it's the nut that won't clear, or in this case I know who the nut is. Without the threaded piece and the nut on the back, that Kickstarter will clear by 3/16, 6 mil. So I'm going to need to cut that off and put a couple of tacks in it and spoil my chrome. But see, that's what happens when you haven't got all the parts. Now, back to feeling okay about this. I think the exhaust looks fine. You come and have a look at it, and then we'll wind this video up and I'll tell you what I paid for it. Up close and personal time. Now that's a mandrel bent pipe. Somebody's gone to some trouble, some time and some expense to have that made, and it's really good. That's where the jog in the pipe is, and here's the silencer and the bracket and the clearance to the kickstand, and it's not bad. I have a couple of questions. Would you leave it chrome, or would you scuff it and paint it black? I'm not sure, but it looks okay. That's been a long time coming for me. Painting the pipe, finding it, I had it in a back cupboard, and I've been working on the round tank as well. I took a risk on the silencers. Those silencers, or there's two of them, there's one for the round tank, they cost me $50, including postage, for both of them. So they cost $25 each, including postage. $25 to $3.50. For now, that's just fine. I haven't damaged the bike. That can be taken off at any point. I haven't damaged the header pipe. I've done nothing to the bike except fit a silencer that is plausible. It's not perfect, but it is plausible. And for me, with the depth I'm at on these two and how much I've poured into them, I can live with it. I really can. I actually think they're really good. And if they hold together, they'll be fine. If the chrome really tarnishes off, I'll paint them black. I may even do that now, but we'll see. For me, the saving of about $700 to $750 now makes a huge difference. In the real world, which YouTube often is not, people pour endless amounts of money into bikes, and I'm not that my money's endless, but I've been prone to pouring whatever it takes into it to make it as original as possible. This time I just can't. I just don't want to. It's not realistic. This little bike is going to push to owing me more than it's worth. Not even counting any labour component, just more than it's worth. That's really sad for us restorers, or people where I get a kick out of this, not riding it. So there it is. There's my silencer effort. I hope you liked it. I hope you like what I'm up to. Thanks for the support. Say good day from wherever you are in the world. Don't forget to subscribe if you've got time. In the meantime, cheers. Have a good one.